Okay, we said that in this lesson we are going to learn something on report. Report in Microsoft Access. How we can make report. Maybe we want to get the summary of the data that we have. So we started by creating a database called school, and in this database we are going to have a table called student with the following fields. So we are going to add some fields there because we have the student ID, which is our primary key. We have the first name, last name, date of birth. Let us also say it sex. So this sex, we are going to make it a lookup wizard where we can have those values like females and males. Now when you're entering the data, you will just select those values instead of typing. So let us add them here. We are going to say we have males and females. Now we proceed. Let us limit this to our list, and we finish. Then the last field will be amount. So this amount, we are capturing the currency, yes, and our table is done. So we are not going to enter the data direct into our table. So we need to first save this table, right click, and we save this table. Now we give it a name. We are calling it student. This is student table, and we save. So now we want to create a form that will help us in capturing the necessary data. So we are going to first close this table, then we create another database object, that is the form that will help us to capture this information. So we can use form design, or we use any other method, but for this case let us use form wizard. So we take all these fields. You can either take them one by one, or you take all of them at a go. Then we said next. We can select the layout. How do you want the form to be? So let us say we need it in a column form. And next, we give that form a name or the form title. Let us say we call it data entry form, and we finish. So after finishing, our form is now ready to capture information into our database. So we are going to begin adding some data there. Let us add some data. The first student will have the ID KSS1. Then the first name is, let us use this name, John. Last name, Opio. We have someone called Opio John. The date of birth, let us use this, 1990. Sex, male. Amount, is 100,000. Then now to send this data into our table, we can use tab key on our keyboard. So when you press tab, the information is sent into our database. We can check our table. You realize that the information is already there. We have information for John. is already in our table. So we are going to continue adding more data there. Let us say the KSS2. This is Sunday. The other name is Okelo. The date of birth is 2001. Is a male. Let us be fast. 120,000 tapped. The next is McLean. Adon. Okay, sorry. This is KSS3. We have McLean. That is our first name. Last name is Adon. Date of birth. That 2003. Sex is females. Amount 250,000. 250,000 tapped. Next, KSS4. Peter. This is Ulara. Date of birth. Mm, 2000. The male. Amount paid is 400,000. Tapped. The last one, KSS5. Susan Ajo is that 2007. Females. $350,000. Send this. So now we have already added some data into our table. So let us check our table. Realize that we first close it because when it is open, it cannot welcome the information there. So we first close this table. After closing, we open it again. Then our data are already there in our table. So our main objective today is to understand how we can create a report. Are we there? How we can create report. We have been learning this. We have been learning how to create table, how we create forms. So today we are going to look at how we can make a report. So now, in order for you to create a report, let us first pay attention to this. In order for you to create a report, you go to create, then you will realize that there are several ways we can create a report. We can either use report design, we can also have a blank report, then we can also use report wizards. So we are going to begin by understanding how report wizards work. So let us first close we close this table. We also close our forms. So now we are going to say create a report, and we are using report wizard. You click on create, then you come and select report wizard. So report wizards, we are going to take all these fields. There are other scenarios where you may create a report for only specific fields, but for this case we are going to create report for all these fields. So we take all of them at once. Then we proceed by saying next. Then here you will realize that we can perform some grouping. We can either say let this information be grouped according to student identification number, or we can say let this data be grouped according to their first name, or let this data be grouped according to their date of birth, or we can say group this information as per their amount paid or their sex, where we can group maybe the female separately and we also grouped the male separately. So we are going to group this one by their sex. So after this, we say we take that one there, so it will be grouped as per their sex. So now when we proceed with this, we can also perform the order. Do you want this information to be in ascending order or descending order? If you said you need them to be ascending order, then you select the field. You can either say I need maybe the first name to be in ascending order or the last name be in that order. Then we proceed. Then this one gives you the layout. Do you need the report to be in stepped, block, or outline? Then the orientation, maybe after producing the hard copies. Do you want the report to be in landscaped or portrait? So let us keep the layout to be stepped and our orientation to be maintained as portrait, and we proceed. So we give this report a name. Let us call this one students report. Students report, this one in uppercase, yes. Then we can finish this. So now after finishing, you get this is our report. This is the report that we need. We can see that we have applied grouping where they have grouped female first. All the females, they have been grouped. You can see that this kind of grouping is there. Then all the males, they have been grouped together. But we can see that there are other figures that are not showing here. So we can adjust this one like we have been performing column adjustment in Excel. We can right click on this report and we check on we can either use the layout view of the report. So this is how our report is looking on the layout view, and if we want to maybe adjust this, we can switch to our report design. Then we see that we can adjust this. Maybe we adjust it this way. Just hold and drag it to the right hand side. Then also this field we can also adjust and increase. We can increase this. Yes. So when we go back to our report view, you will see that okay, amount is visible. Then again, date of birth is not visible. We can still adjust this report design. Date of birth, we take this one this side, okay. Then we adjust this one a bit there, yes. We take this one this side, then we adjust this one a bit. When we check on our report view, everything is now visible. We have our sex, we have student ID, we have our first name, last name, date of birth, amount paid. Then we have our, there is this current date printed. We have the page number there. So that is how simple it is. We can also go ahead and we add maybe things to do with the background. Let us first go to our design view. This is our report. This is the report header. We can add some information on the header. We can use our, so we said when we want to add some text, we use label. So we click on report design, then our label is here. Label is there. We click on label. We can draw that. Maybe we can give it some good name, like for secondary school. Secondary school students report. Then we can highlight this. We give it, we format this one. Okay. We can highlight this. So we check that we can format this further, the properties. So maybe things to do with the font size, we can maybe make this one to be 20, yes. Then the font color, that is the font color, maybe we make it green, yes. So we can apply further formatting on this. Then we can also come to footer here, adjust a bit. We add some label there, and we say it report by, you can put your name there, this. So we can also right click here and we say that the font size, we make it to 18. Then the font color, that is the font color, becomes, let us make this one, yes, that color. So we can select there and make maybe this footer to be having maybe that color. Then this is the header. We make the header to have maybe another color, this. Then this is the body. Page header. Can make it there. Details, that is the body of the report. We can make it maybe with that. So when we check on our report view, that is how our report will look. That is how the report will look at that moment. So this is how someone can add a report. So in the second examples, we are going to add another report. Okay? We are going to add another report, assuming the school fees that someone is supposed to pay is 500,000. Assuming the school fees that someone is supposed to pay is 500,000. So we are going to generate a report that produces fee balance that someone is having if they are supposed to pay 500,000 as school fees. Basing on what they have paid, let us check the table here. Like for the case of John, he paid 100,000. What would be the fee balance So we are going to perform some calculation in our report. So let us create another report that calculates the fee balance. So we follow the same procedures. We go to create, we use report wizards. We take all the fields there. We proceed next. We are not going to perform any grouping. Let us just proceed next. Next, we give it a name. We are going to call it fee balance. This is fee balance, and we finish. So after finishing, we have this kind of report. So let me first adjust this. We right click, go to design view. Let me adjust this one, this side. This side. You can have amount there, amount here. This is the sex. Adjust this amount this side. Sex. Then date of birth also adjust. So we can check on the report how the report view. Okay, we have this kind of information. So we want to calculate the fee balance here. We want to add another field that calculates the fee balance in the report. So this is what we do. We cannot perform it from here. This is just the report view. So we need to go to our report. We right click and we switch to design view of the report. So this is the design view of the report where we can perform calculation. So now in order for you to perform this calculation, we are going to insert text box. Text box help us to write formulas. So I click on this text box. Then I draw it here. Draw it there. I want the fee balance to be here. There. So now I will do the first box. I will say fee balance in the first box. Then in the second one, which they are saying it is unbound, is where you now do the formulas. So here we are going to write a formulas that calculates the fee balance, assuming they are supposed to pay 500,000, meaning that our formulas will begin with equal sign. We put equal sign there. Then we are going to say the 500,000, which was the school fees that someone is supposed to pay, minus the amount that someone paid. This is the amount. So you should understand that when we are typing that field, we use square brackets for the amount and type the field name exactly the way it is appearing there, minus the amount. So we close this, put in brackets, yes, like this, 500,000 minus the amount that someone was supposed to pay. This is what you are supposed to do. Then I think I will show up these formulas. I will show this and copy this. I will show these formulas. Let me have a Word document here that can help us to show these formulas. Because we shall be performing several formulas. So let me paste it here. for you to see. We want you to see these formulas there. So that is the formulas we are using, assuming someone is supposed to pay 500,000. How can you calculate the fee balance provided the amount? Take this one to, let me make it a bit larger. Yes, so this is what we are saying. We begin by putting equal sign there, then we get this bracket, parenthesis, then we put our field. This is the field. This is the field that we are. This is the field for amount. This one is the field for amount. So make sure that you put the field in square bracket. So let us go back to our formulas here. Then we need to have a label up here that says fee balance here, because when we check this, you realize that the balance are created here. The balance are created, but we don't have the labels up. So we need to include labels here as well. So we can right click, we go to design view, then we have to add from our report design, we need to include a label here. So we can have a label and we say fee balance as well. Then when we check this from our report view, we have our fee balance there, but again here there is also fee balance. We can remove this. We can go to our design view and we remove that. We remove that. Then when we go back, this is what we want. This is what we want. This is what we want. This is the fee balance, meaning that we can print this report. Remember, you write the formulas once and it is applied to all. If someone paid only 100,000, meaning that this person is paying, is having a fee balance of 400,000. So we can still format this one further to bear this currency symbol. You just right click, you go to design view, then you click on this, right click and you format these properties. Now you come to formats here. So the format here, you can select these formats to be currency. You see that currency is there. Select currency. Then when you come back here to check on the report view, you will see that all these are now formatted as currency. They have been formatted as currency. This one, they have been formatted as currency. I said it is very easy to make this. You just right click, you go to design view, you come to this field, you first click there, click. After clicking, you right click and go to properties. You go to properties is there. Then the property sheets will open for you. Properties. So it has opened. Now you come on a format here. You click. You can select. There are a number of formats that can be used. Yes, no, true, false, scientific, percentage. It depends on the data that you are using. So now ours is, we want it to be as currency. When we check on the report view, we realize that our fee balance has been formatted. When someone paid 120, meaning that this person has a fee balance of 380,000. If maybe I paid 250, meaning that I still have a fee balance of 250,000. So now this one can now be printed. You can print these objects by just using the shortcut key of Control P. When you say the Control P, you can print out this report. Remember, in your examination, you will always be asked to print. So I'm saying that let us take Microsoft Access very seriously. Very seriously if we want to succeed in UNED next year. Because the moment someone played with the Microsoft Access and spreadsheet, know that for item 1 you're doing nothing. Okay? For item 1 you are doing nothing there. You will just go in examination room, you will be sweating and you come out when you have not done anything. So I don't want you people to sweat. Okay? You have already decided, no one forced you that you come and do ICT. They brief you very well during your orientation in Sina 1. That they say that thing called ICT is something that is very new, okay, in the system. So it needs extra seriousness, level of seriousness. The moment you play around, that is how everything just stops. When you look at the theory, I normally see you people wasting time playing, okay? Joking with the work for Sina 1 and Sina 2. This paper is for Sina 1 and Sina 2, the one that they did, okay, yesterday as their exams. This paper, this one, okay? This one. How many of you received this? How many received this? Did you check the papers? How they ask? How many checked? So none of you bothered to check. And yet you're calling yourself semi-candidates. That one is very wrong. Okay? It is very, very wrong. It is very wrong. So you spare your time, try to go through their work,